People online. Hey Alfredo, hi Fidelis, hi Abdulaziz. We're just coming together in the room now, and then obviously we'll make a start on the meeting. I will be with you very, very shortly. Thank you. So there's been a timetabling awkwardness in that Billy and Kenneth have actually been asked to present a paper at this precise exact moment, which is really rather unhelpful. So what we're going to do is we will make a brief start and do some housekeeping bits and bobs. Has anybody been able to see the paperwork affiliated with this meeting? No, was it on the online thingy?
Fred?
Yes, Fidelis.
I think Billy shared the agenda last week.
Yeah, but I'm not sure who with. Okay. I can ask people to fill in the attendance, and I will, of course, make a note of those online. So we do have an agenda. Yes, so we're swapping around, so I'll chair today for Billy. And I'm just wondering about... Fidelis, have you seen the minutes from our last meeting in September?
Yeah. The minutes...
Go on.
Yeah, I've got a minute here attached to the email of last week.
Yes, that's the one. I think there's only probably myself and your good self that were at that meeting. Are you happy with the minutes? Can I take those as confirmed, please?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what we've done, colleagues, is obviously with those minutes, we've carried through any unacted actions for the next meeting. There's a reason you sat right behind me. Yeah. Honestly, PhD students, they never grow up, do they? Hi, Rita. Hi, come on in, folks. So if we could pass the, there's a registration-y thing going. If you all could sit there and then I don't have to contort myself. Sorry, I'm just dealing with some naughty people in the room here. Right, thank you, Fidelis, for your confirmation, and we'll take those as read. So let me get another little thing going on here. Okay. Now, I'm actually going to start the meeting, given where we are and given there's some new people in the room. So obviously, I'm Fred Sherratt. I'm one of the coordinators with Billy. And if we could go around the room, Alex, you don't have to join in. But if we could just go around the room and say who we are, where we're from, and what we do. I think that will be quite helpful for everybody else. And we have a roving mic that you have to pass on. England.
It's my turn.
Yeah. Yeah. So just introduce yourself, who you are, and where you're from.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yingbin Feng. I'm from Western Sydney University. Of course, the health and safety in construction is one of my major research interests. And I'm also doing some research around sustainable procurement, ethical sourcing, modern slavery kind of things, and also robotics in construction. Yeah, that's it about me.
So that fits very nicely with Fidelis's 1, 2, 3 people in construction. Some of those elements, Yingmin, certainly the modern slavery aspects, Fidelis, I think, come under your remit. Yeah, the pen goes with the thing.
Yeah, I'll just introduce myself. Alan Cassis. I'm a senior research fellow, RMIT. And what else was there?
What's your favourite thing to read?
Yeah, my main work is around construction health and safety. Yeah.
Perfect. We have our PhD students in the room.
Good afternoon. My name is Brenda Masanga. I'm a PhD student focusing on psychosocial risks in the construction industry. Thank you.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I am Mohammad Sabbir Ahmed. I am from School of Property Construction and Project Management of RMIT University. So my PhD topic focuses on job quality and its impact on construction workers' health and well-being. Thank you.
Hello, I'm David Oswald. I'm a senior lecturer here at RMIT University, and like everyone here, I have interest in construction safety.
Good afternoon. I'm Payam Pirzadeh. I'm a research fellow at RMIT, and I'm working on health and safety. Safety in design was my PhD, and I'm currently working on decision making in relation to health and safety performance measurement and management.
Hello, Rita here. A senior lecturer in construction management in the School of Property Construction and Project Management at RMIT. Research area primarily lies in construction health and safety research. That's it.
Perfect. If I could ask people online, Fidelis, you don't get to introduce yourself because everyone knows who you are. Alfredo, would you like to say a little bit about yourself, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good night for me, but but I'm awake. So thank you for the opportunity to address you. I'm from the University of Porto in Portugal, and my interests are on construction safety, specifically, and use of digital tools in construction safety.
Excellent. Thank you, Alfredo. And we have Abdulaziz.
Hello, everyone. I'm Abdulaziz Al-Otaibi. I'm originally from Saudi Arabia. Right now, I'm a PhD student working with Dr. John Gambatiz at Oregon State University in the United States. And Dr. Gambatiz and I are developing a model to evaluate mental workload based on the energy concepts such as potential energy and kinetic energy.
Oh, interesting. Perfect. Thank you so much. So we obviously have, we're doing quite well on the RMIT representation. Well done, folks, unsurprisingly. So thank you all very much for that. So firstly, I'm going to do good news, which some of you will be aware, but last night at the conference dinner, myself, Billy and Fidelis were awarded the Wim Bakkens Award for Best Coordinators over the last 3-year period since 2019 and now. This is an inaugural award. It's going to be given out every World Building Congress, but we were the very first winners. And some of you may have seen us go up in our very, very fancy shirts. Fidelis sadly was not with us, but I know if you had been lovely, you would have had an equally awesome shirt on. Yeah. And so we're hoping that others will follow our lead, and at every W099 123 conference dinner, shirts will be compulsory. So we want your best Hawaiian shirt offering going forwards, okay? And there may even be a prize, Billy and I thought we might do. So we'll see how we go with that. So Alfredo will come on to that in more detail when we get to you. I am just going to go through our agenda and pick out what we still need to work on. So moving on to item 2, which was the actions from the previous minutes. Something we were considering was joint conferences with the other working commissions. This is interesting. So there has been, for those of you who've been at the conference, you've seen Don come in. There've been a number of changes at CIB. They're very keen to ensure that the commissions are active and that they do things, because not all of them are as energetic as we are. So we had a look at this. Obviously, we work very closely with 123, with Fidelis, and have done for some time. And I think that relationship is forever entwined and will go forward together in terms of that. There was an inquiry, I think, from Education in Construction around joining a conference, who I think they found another friend, as it were. But there were some suggestions put forward in our last meeting, and I've just done a bit of a check. There were some that we thought we could collaborate with, such as 107, which was construction in developing countries, but that seems to be relatively inactive, unfortunately. The way I've judged this is, you will have seen there's a CIB annual report that Don has compiled for the first time this year, and he asked each working group to put in an update of what they've been doing, and I have taken their presence within that report to therefore show they're active enough to write a paragraph or two. So unfortunately 107 seems inactive, but maybe worth exploring. TG95, which was professionalism and ethics, is also inactive, unfortunately. 112, which was culture in construction, which seems to have a certain level of synergy with what we do, does seem active, but it has been paused during COVID. That's essentially what they said in the report. So whether they have the energy to join us, I don't think, certainly not. Alfredo, please don't get scared. This isn't going to impact you. This would be looking ahead to the next conference, as it were. 78, I've come to realise from this conference, do their own thing. I don't think they actually need us. They've had their own conference within a conference here at the World Building Congress, which seems strange. And there was one on fire safety, which I'm kind of struggling to find. So with regards to doing a joint conference, I think that is something we should look to in the future. But given that we already combine our strengths with 123, there may be scope for exploring these for the conference after the next one, and for other activity. So I'm just going to open the floor to comments on that. But for the moment, I would suggest that we carry on working with 123, and we look at exploring these sort of organically and quite gently, rather than trying to force a relationship that might not fit given the activity of those working groups and task groups. Are there any comments on that? Does anyone want to add?
If I may.
Sure, certainly.
I second what you have said. We really need to be careful about, just as we do in life, who we work with. That report from Dawn is very, I look at it myself. We need to be mindful of who is active, who is not inactive, so that we don't get caught up in unnecessary difficulties going forward, especially since we are active annually, 123 and 1099. But like you rightly said, education is close to both commissions, both 123 and 099. If Richard, which I work with them incidentally for this WBC, they are fairly, Richard and Mark are fairly nice bodies to work with. We had Zoom meetings. I've had one with Mark recently. So if they are open to it, it's fine. But it shouldn't be something that we will force. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Fidelis. Anybody else?
I think I have a
yes, of course.
You know,
oh, wait. No, you can't just talk. If you haven't got a little green flashy thing, you don't get to speak. Oh, away you go, sir.
No worries, thank you. We normally look at physical health and safety when we look at construction, but I wonder if there is any other groups look at psychological health and safety, like mental health issues, or
we're well-being now.
Okay,
so we have so it was last year, I think, that we expanded from just safety and health, so we're now safety, health and well-being, and we are encompassing mental health within that. There isn't a specific task group for that.
Okay, yeah, that was my question.
But it's not a quiz on what task groups there are, so you're quite all right. But no, I think that would be quite the obvious places to explore. You're quite right.
You can also, if I may add, you can also find that under W123, people in construction.
Yeah.
I feel like probably there's some synergies between us and the culture in construction, because everything is interrelated. People, culture change, and health and safety and well-being. Without culture change, probably who can't talk about health and health and safety well-being. So I don't know. I feel like there's some synergies between, is it W112,
Yes.
culture in construction,
Yeah.
and people, and then health and safety and well-being.
I think you're right. So when I very first started as a baby researcher, I was in 112. So that's where I lived. But I was a very young PhD student, and I don't know Wilco very well. I mean, do you know Wilco, who coordinates that commission?
Well,
And the other person is Isabel Chan at the University of Hong Kong.
what's his? Oh, what's the?
Wilco Tijuis at Twente in the Netherlands. Has anybody got any? Do you know them, Yingwei? Do you know Wilco?
Wilco.
And okay. And did he seem vaguely keen on joining forces with anybody? No.
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's worth you're quite right. Like I say, that's where I ended up, and it is the next one on the list, and that's kind of where we got to last time, Rita. So, okay, let's let that happen more organically. I think the evidence of our award is that we're actually leading the way anyway with how we do what we do at the minute. Yes, of course. Yes. This is a good meeting because you all get your steps in.
That's great, Tom. It's a great idea to have some joint activities with other commission meetings. Have you considered any activities with W65, Organization and Management of Construction?
Yes.
Luckily that I'm in both commission, the member here, and I'm the joint coordinator of W65. So I was thinking, because compared to W99, W65 is relatively quiet, and we're trying to re-energize the activities in the W65. The W65 is actually the largest commission, and we have almost over 100 members.
Okay.
But we're pretty quiet. So and I believe there are lots of things like research themes that could be done together, like the safety health management part and organization, based off people or soft management organization related aspects of health and safety. That's many people might be interested. So probably that's one of the options we can explore.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, that one might. So what I'm thinking might be appropriate is that I'm just going to move agenda item 2.3 to 2.2, because I think a good way of exploring how this could work in practice is to take on a little thing, like a webinar, like a morning workshop or something of that nature, a half-day event that we do fully virtually in order to see where we can get that kind of interest. And I think that would be worth first steps and seeing what interest we get. So we were, as I say, I've moved it, haven't I? Yeah, 2 hour, some ideas of some morning webinar things. So what I'm going to do is be an absolute idiot and suggest that I pick that up. Do that. Because I have a new job where I don't have to be deputy dean all the time. So I'm going to pick that up in my new headspace. And I think I'll reach out to you and let's see what we can do with that. I'll also see if I can get if everybody is happy with this, I'll start to explore management, which I think you're right, if we skew it to that, and there must be somebody in amongst all those 100 people that would have interest in that area. Let me speak to 112, and I'm thinking we'll do this as a small event and see what interest we get through that before we start making bigger commitments. Does that sound like a plan, people? Yes. Perfect. Right. FS2X2 explore. I'm also doing the minutes, so I have to do all the things. So just let me type that. To explore this one with W65. So Yingbin, I'll be in touch, my darling. And possibly 112. I'll see what answer I get out of that. So what I'm thinking for that is maybe a presentation and then a workshop part and then some sort of Q&A discussion type thing that we could organise that people can dial into. We could perhaps have some PhD presentations. She said, I've never seen a PhD student look away quicker. Brenda. So we'll see how we can make that work. Okay, moving on. 2.3. So this was the industry digest that Billy has promised to do. He unfortunately has not yet achieved that. Andrea's not here, is she? I've not seen her. Yeah, so I think Billy and Andrea were going to look to that. Billy has held his hands up and said that he's not been able to right, I'm trying to chair a meeting and do the minutes and you've come to take my picture. Oh, hey, good. The gang's all here. Right. So, Billy, just in time to explain to people how you've progressed the industry digest.
I've not.
Yay!
Yes. So
what's the plan with that?
That's work in progress. But I think the plan in my head is just to use the abstracts, condense them into themes, and pull out the what if or what if. So what factor that people in the industry will want to know. So I've now got a backlog. I've got last year's and
we have
got this year's.
We've got 21 and 2022.
So the onus is on me, and if anyone wants to help and support, they can volunteer.
Well, Andrea had volunteered last time. Hi, Brian. So Andrea, you have got Andrea.
Is that on the minutes?
Yeah.
I've done the minutes.
Yeah, I'm doing everything, mate.
Multitasking.
So multitasking. So right, okay. So what we've done, yeah. I don't think you'll object to anything that we've done. It's all as we've discussed. Right. Okay. So Billy's going to BH taking forwards. Perfect. So item 2.4 was new roadmaps. So I had a quick look at our last one that was published in 2013. So we're a year away from potentially a 10-year new one. Now, again, so the change in my role has enabled me to have a little bit more headspace. Right. So I was also going to suggest that I start to look at that.
Okay, so that was just on the agenda to keep it so it didn't drop off, Fred. Right, so we've got it in our mind for next year because that.
Did you want to publish it next year, or do we want to? That's a bit of an ask. It's already June. Steady on. Or do we want to start looking at it next year? Because we could do a workshop. Alfredo, is there any wriggle room in your programme for the planned conference, lovely?
We can arrange that. I mean,
I think
that would be good. We could have a workshop on the roadmap, actually.
I think what would be good though would be to bring something to the.
Yeah, we could do a draft and then right. Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Okay.
So for those of you who were in Alistair's keynote this morning, this was some of the work that was presented in that, some of the maps and where the interfaces lie. That was the work that he did with one of his PhD students back in 2013 from Loughborough. So I can pick that up and see where we go. And then I think a session at the conference next year to enable us to workshop that a little bit as a group would help us then develop the direction that we can start to put something more meaningful into the roadmap. So right, FS to develop from 2013 version and to prepare materials for our roadmap workshop in 2023. Excellent. Okay. Has anyone got any comments on that? Fidelis, were you thinking of doing your own roadmap or do you want in on ours?
We are married.
Hey, that's brilliant. I missed the wedding, darling. No problem. So to incorporate W123 as well. Perfect. Bye. I'm scared, Brandon. She's running away because I told her she had to do a webinar. All right.
Does that mean including some resource from 123 then?
What you're looking at the resource from 123?
That was the implication.
The geezer's there. Okay, well let's look at that. Right. 2.5, the newsletter, Billy.
Yep. So we're due one. We've got lots of content for it. So I think post this conference, I like to put them out just after the conference, and that way we can put some conference feedback into the newsletter. So I think within end of next month, we'll probably have one out.
Yeah, perfect. How do we distribute that?
So I tend to put it through there is a list of contacts through CIB, and I also send it to CIB, and they put it on their website. It's usually a link because at the moment I've been posting it on the GCU website as a link.
And it's like perfect. Right. Item 3, Alfredo.
Yes.
You are on the spot.
Out on the spot.
There is a PowerPoint slide. Is it on
No,
the
the meeting next year is on the spot. So thank you for choosing Porto to have the meeting next year. I've sent some, I don't know if you have them there, but I've sent some materials to show how Porto is like.
Have you got the video?
You want
Billy has let you down badly, Alfredo.
Okay, so but I don't know how to share the screen.
You should have the slide, Alfredo. Hold on. Do you see that on the list?
We're just trying to find the slide. Would you just like to tell
information?
Would you just like to tell everyone how wonderful Porto is, please?
Okay. I've lived here all my life. I'm not going to say how many years, but except the 4 years in the United States, I've lived here all my life. It's very popular now. If I can send you the link of the video on the chat, and you can probably.
Oh yes, please. If you could drop it into the chat.
Right. And
yes, if you could drop it in the chat, then Alex can play it for us.
Here is the video, and it's better to see the video than hear me speak. I'm not. I'm not a good narrator, so this is the best I can do. But the question is that construction safety has been, let's say, an issue for our country and in Europe. Myself, I've dedicated a long period of my research to this area. I had 3 PhDs already and several master's theses. And let's see if you can see the video that it's being shared. Okay, I'll shut up.
Oh my internet. The video wants you to speak, Alfredo.
It's just. You're the tech guy.
Not my internet. I'm on.
Yep.
So,
Right, does that make you want to go to Portugal? Yeah.
well, you
again?
know, these movies, these videos are edited, so you don't know what's behind nowadays. So, but anyway, I can certify that everything that showed up exists, and it's still like that. I mean, I've lived here all my life, so except the 4 years in the United States, but I personally, it's a city that I like. That's but the tourists appreciate it very much. In terms of the university, I also have a link that, but I don't think it's necessary. But it's the university that has more research publications in the country. We had just verified that we have 6,500, about 6,500 foreign students last year, 21-22 academic year, and we have a PhD and a master program on health and safety, occupational health and safety. There it's the only in the country. So in civil engineering, I'm the face of construction safety, but there are other people working with me. And what else can I tell you? Personally, I'm also involved with the professional implementation of construction safety. I'm vice president of the ISCO, which is International Safety and Health Construction Coordinators Organization. Construction coordinators is construction coordinators is something. Yeah, you save the date, and let me explain what that means. Construction safety is very, how do I say, very important in terms of profession, and I'm the vice president of the association. So it is an association of construction coordinators that doesn't exist in other parts of the world, and so I'll probably can contribute on that perspective, and we have discussed some topics for the event. And you will have more information in September, as it is mentioned on the save the date slide. So that's about it. I don't know if you want to see the university, but we have about 7,000 engineering students, about 1,200 in civil engineering. And that's about it. I'm looking for questions.
Thank you very much, Alfredo. So the dates are the 21st and the 22nd of June. So that's almost a year hence. And something important happens on the 23rd, doesn't it, Alfredo?
Yeah, on the 23rd, if you want to stay for the let's say for the major event in Porto, which is St. John the Baptist celebration. It's everybody goes out. There is a firework at midnight on the river. So I had the video here, so I don't know if, but anyway, it's a big social event in terms of socializing and in terms of being, how do I say, in the middle of a lot of people. Everybody goes out, young people, old people, families. There are certain attractions. And during that night, in principle, no one sleeps. So be prepared. Be prepared if you're coming and wait for that night. So that's about it.
Perfect. Thank you. So there is the opportunity to really explore the culture of Portugal as well, to actually get to experience European culture for colleagues who haven't had that delight. And of course, I'm hoping the opportunity to eat lots of little egg custard tarts. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because that's very important. So we will have them for breakfast, I am sure.
Yeah.
And the theme for the conference is digital transformation, for the good or the bad, I presume. So we're calling it digital transformation. Alfredo clearly hasn't read all the papers I've written about what I think about that. But it will lead to lively debate, I'm sure. And I can see Profi has a hand raised. Profi.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I want to ask Alfredo, perhaps he doesn't have to answer now, but he can consider it. Given the day he just described, the cultural day, where that it can actually be another marketing tool for the event. So while we create the flyers and the platform, it's good to explore an optional way of, as we do it in Cape Town, everywhere, if delegates want to have a tour of Porto, of course, it's not be part of the conference fee, but it's something that you can create and to attract them. Then they stay over and they see the city as opposed to just seeing ourselves for 2 days. And I can bet you, it's in most conferences that I've been to in Greece, etc., it really works where almost every one of us stay over to unwind, and delegates that will be traveling internationally, we plan ahead for it.
Yeah. That's great. Thank you, Prof. E. So we'll look to explore that and make sure that it's promoted within the marketing to encourage to optimize our delegate numbers. Perfect. So more information coming in September. And obviously we as the coordinators will be working with Alfredo to make sure and support him in leading on the conference. Perfect. Thank you ever so much, Alfredo. I think if you're welcome to stay, but you can go to bed if you want.
No, I think I'll stay.
Perfect. Well, we should.
My last commission meeting was in Belfast, so
Perfect.
I'll wait.
So,
okay.
So that is our 2023 conference. We have been looking ahead to 2024, and I think what should I let Kenneth do this or should we do this? So we have a tentative proposal that we're working on that Kenneth has helped facilitate. So please, would you like to spill the beans and let folks know the plan?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, you need a thingy.
Yep. So when Billy took over as the coordinator, his immediate plan was that he's going to get CIB to network around the different continents. Not just European and the US, like we all know, but take it to parts of Africa and Asia. And I think over the years, we've had W099 conferences in South Africa, should be around about 3 times now. And so I brought it up, why don't we look around, shop around for maybe western part of Africa to see who's going to take the bait. And so we put it out there, and same day that we put it out, like, is there any kind of like, interest in bringing W099 to West Africa? And our members picked it up and said, you know what, Ghana will host it. So for 2024, W099, W123 will be in Ghana, and one of their reputable universities, they call it NKUST, that's Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. which they've got a partnership with a lot of universities, and they've got a lot of their affiliations with South Africa. So they've kind of like agreed to lead this, but I mean, we'll all be in support of this, but that is where the CIB W099 123 in 2024 will be in in Ghana, Accra, Ghana.
Thank you very much, Kenneth. So and hopefully this will encourage and support colleagues from those parts of the world to actually be able to attend more easily. It reduces their travel costs. It obviously makes a bigger opportunity to engage with people in West Africa who otherwise may be prohibited from coming along. So I think this is a really exciting move. I've been to Accra. I think it's a great place. I'm really excited that we're actually able to do something like this and really sort of shift gears in terms of working with people in places where the work we do is what we try and implement there. Let's step out of our Western comfort zone a little bit and actually do things that matter. So I'm certainly very excited about it. Profi?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I just want to add that the university have produced quite a number of colleagues that are experts in health and safety around the continent, and they've hosted conferences. We have even hosted conferences jointly between South Africa and KUST and others, and across the continent, there's always how do I put it now, postdoc coming to me, or some of my PhD students now are from that universities. So we have close collaboration with them, including the provost and people that are in the construction management and technology faculty. So yes, if they do, of course, informally they have agreed, if you put effort, I can assure you it will attract large turnout.
Yeah. Perfect. So that is our current plan. Is anyone else? How are we feeling? Are we excited? Are we? It's a great place, and I think it really matters that we are truly international in what we do, and this is one way that we can actually put our money where our mouth is, frankly.
The good thing as well is that we now have a forward plan that will take us up to the next one of these, the next World Building Congress, which will be Purdue, USA. And tentatively, I'll mention it now since we're on the subject.
Yeah.
We tried and had to go online 2 times for Glasgow. So I do need to make an effort and try and have a physical conference in Glasgow. So tentatively, if there's no objections, I would like to put Glasgow in the diary for 2026, because 2025 would be Purdue. And if 2026 would be Glasgow, then we've got 4 years in the diary, which I've not seen for a long time on the Working Commission. So I think that's a healthy diary, healthy program.
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's only fair that we go to Glasgow, and I think that this will work very well in terms of the Europe, America, and obviously Australia situation. So we're actually spreading ourselves quite appropriately across the world, as is always our ambition. Perfect. So thank you, colleagues. And now we are on item number 4. Carried forward from previous meeting. Billy, the digital archive. You apparently had a PhD student you were going to force to do this.
Yes. She was fortunate enough to fall pregnant, but she is.
Somebody will do anything to get out of doing a CIB digital archive, won't they?
But she is. She's due back next month.
Perfect.
From maternity leave. And her PhD is in digital adoption amongst construction companies. So she's very much in this area, very capable of doing this. And she's actually emailed me a few times recently saying, "What do you have for me to do?" So that's a good sign. I also need to liaise with John Smallwood, because that's where the data resides, and it's dependent on John being able to PDF anything that's hard copy and find a suitable way of getting that onto a digital dumping ground, which then my student can start turning into something of suitable, searchable, browsable database.
Perfect.
So it's also dependent on John. So once my student's back next month, I can pick up with that.
Perfect. Okay, so 4.2, the websites. So obviously, I'm sure many of you have had a quick look. They've revamped the CIB websites, which are now looking an awful lot better. However, the W099 content is absolutely, I'm not even sure. I don't even work at Anglia Rusk University. So I used to work at Anglia Ruskin. Hi, Mike. So what we need to do, I need to go and revisit the content on that page, and I will update that, and I'll do that next week. Frankly, it needs doing as soon as possible. Prof E, how is your 123 page looking? Are you happy with that?
No, I think it's. I've not taken time, but it can be improved.
Okay, so I've taken an action certainly to look at W099, because I don't know why Dongping Fang's on there. I don't think he's been coordinated for a lot. I don't know how we've got 3 of us still on there. So if I will give you an action to review and revise as necessary.
Okay.
Fidelity, if that's all right, darling. Okay.
Thank you so much.
That's not very exciting. And then we have a student workshop item.
I think that's a Kenneth item.
Is
right?
it? Hello.
That's what I think.
What's that?
This is why we win awards, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
Can you hear Kenneth okay on mine?
No.
Yeah, every PhD student goes through a journey, and sometimes it's imperative that we give them their own place and the opportunity to share their own ideas, because we kind of like compartmentalize them during presentations, and sometimes we ask ridiculous questions that they struggle to answer. So I feel that, you know, for us to generate interest and to sell, not really sell, but to garner students to come on board to CIB, we need to create like a session for them, for PhD students, so they can make presentations about where they are at in their studies, and we can kind of like give them a heads up around what to start thinking about. Maybe even my idea is that we can focus on methodology, the different types of methodology that we've all adopted, and how it can shape their own studies based on what we already know. And I feel that is a kind of like a startup for, you know, gathering more kind of like PhD students that are really within this kind of like construction, health and safety, construction related projects, and people in construction. So I think the big picture is that they are trying to increase numbers and membership. So that I see that as an opportunity to increase numbers, membership, and all that. So we probably might roll that out. We might start that in Porto, see how it works, and if it's something that, you know, we all. I'm not saying if we are interested, we must be interested, all of us here, to help the upcoming students. So it's on the table. We can make a road plan of what we want to do, and yeah. So Billy, as part of maybe your newsletter, you can put that in so that everyone is aware of it, and yeah, we follow up.
So Kenneth will lead, but I'll be supporting, and anyone else who wants to support and play a part in that, we can maybe split up some topic areas on methodology, on qualitative, quantitative approaches, and maybe address some of the specific problems we see over and over with health and safety and well-being type research. We know quite well the difficulties and the problem areas, and it might help so that the future students don't have to reinvent the wheel and come across the same problems.
Yeah, another point I want to make is that even if you don't intend to come to Portugal, which is far from you guys are in Australia, you can still participate in this. You can still share your own wealth of experience and knowledge in this. So I'm not limiting it to physical participation, but online you can still get involved in this as well.
I'm just mindful that we've asked Alfredo to do me a little workshop on the roadmap and also this, but I think that part of our ambition at the conferences is to have a bit of diversity and times when we bring everyone together rather than just sessions individual and you do your paper and away you go. So I think that would be all right. Alfredo, what are your thoughts on that, lovely? Are you comfortable, happy with that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have time, I guess, and space, so won't be a problem.
Alfredo, the worst case scenario could be a short half hour or hour after the sessions are finished for the day, if there's no space and if we end up with a full day.
But we can manage it given paper numbers and streams and how things play out, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's if that's okay, Alfredo, that's two.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
We're asking for.
Yeah. So that would be initiated also conference. Perfect. Okay, so we are doing very well, chaps. We're on to any other business. I have 2 items. I can't spell initiate to be started. God. The jet lag has hit me very hard today. I've tried to spell initiated about 4 times there and I've just gone started. Right, so the 2 items of AOB that I have. Item number 1 is for me and item number 2 is for you, Fidelis, but they're both the same thing. In that Don Ward yesterday at the coordinators lunch was asking for a slide and perhaps a 1-page or a paragraph summing up the essence of our particular working groups so that he's able to incorporate that in presentations and in text as he then goes out on our behalf for the wider CIB. I think that's a perfectly acceptable ask. I'm going to deliver that for us, Billy, if that's all right with you. Obviously,
that will help with the website.
Whiz it by you as well. Yeah, well, I'll do it all as one big shooting match. So, Profi, are you happy to take that on for 1, 2, 3?
That's fine. If you share with me what is required,
I'll share what I've done, and then you'll get an idea of what I think Don's actually after.
Yeah.
Although we have Mike in the room, if yeah, you need one of these. You need one of these if you want to talk.
Hello, Profi.
Hello, how are you, Mike? Thank you for the award. I'm waiting for your email.
So Debbie already sent out the request for the 1 slide.
Okay.
No, I'm asking you.
No.
So you're talking about a slide with a couple of bullet points about each commission?
Yes, we have not received an email.
Okay, yes. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know you heard that and picked up on it. I'm sorry. I thought we all, yeah.
I mean, is Debbie going to do that? Because then I'll await further instruction. I was just going to do it.
Okay, yeah, no, go ahead, do it. I think, yeah, either Debbie or I were supposed to do it. I don't know I can't remember which one.
Okay, we can just pretty much deliver on that because I need to look at our website text is a bit wonky anyway. It's all right, I've got one here. So I need to do that anyway. So yeah, we can do that of our own initiative, and then I find what often happens is we'll do it off our own initiative, and then that will become the template. So there you go. Let's do it that way around.
That sounds wonderful.
Okay, that's doable.
That's why you're the coordinators of the triennium.
Right. So with that in mind, I have reached the end of our agenda, colleagues. And so is there any other business? Go. I don't know what you 2 did to deserve that. Well, they're here. That seems fairly involved to me.
Well, have you talked about doing a webinar or a panel discussion webinar type thing on?
I've already, I literally mentioned that on 2 PhD students. Brenda's come back now, yeah. I mentioned that sort of thing and she literally left the room.
Well, I mean, you know, CIB is always looking for panels and webinars that are of interest to get content experts or, you know, just discussion dialogue going. Certainly among ECRs. I mean, I'm not sure if we had a really great ECR network discussion yesterday afternoon. You know, really talking, and lots of things came up like work-life balance, which I think fits in certainly to Prof. E's commission. And there's a lot of, it was a really nice open discussion that we had with the ECRs and PhD students, and really, I mean, it felt, yeah, Brenda, you were there. It was, you know, I thought that was a very refreshing session. Yeah.
Well,
and thank you for attending and sharing. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, Rita in particular, you've now become a very well-known face at W099, W123. So it's an invitation. It's an
Rita
invitation.
looks horrified at this.
You see the three of them here, they just conk out on one side.
Chaim and David are just
Kenneth,
sitting
you're
back
so
watching it all.
mean.
I'm with Mike.
So I think what a way to do this is perhaps if we.
It's an invitation.
It's an invitation, and I think what we could do in the newsletter, Billy, is a little bit of an advert. We've spoken about webinars earlier in the meeting, Mike, because what we're hoping to do is looking at working with the other commissions rather than taking on a big conference and biting off more than we can chew. We're hoping to do some short half-day webinar sessions, perhaps with 65 through Yingbin. Maybe with 112. So that was how we were starting to pitch those areas. I think in the newsletter we could, I mean, this is the other thing that I would like to reiterate to colleagues is hosting and delivering these things is an absolute fantastic bullet point on your CV for when you go into further promotion requests. So these are an international, globally recognized body that you have done, prepared and presented and delivered something that will help. Right, so it's not a bad thing at all to be doing these things. So maybe we put out in the newsletter the opportunity for people to make suggestions in that way, and we'll see how they go. And unfortunately, David and Rita are just going to get lumped. I'm just going to come after you for those webinars anyway. But David owes me anyway. He's used to that. Rita, I'll be nicer to you.
And to be fair, I don't think they're early career researchers anymore. Right?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I am as well. I think he's looking sat there thinking he can go away with it. It's only because you weren't in tennis line of sight. Poor Rita was in the way. So I think that the more sort of life and activity we can get around our working groups, I think is certainly worthwhile. But do not lose sight of the fact that putting that energy in not only is a worthwhile support for the working groups, but it's also actually, if you there is a little bit of a selfish win there as well for you going forward in your careers. So don't discount that, and it really can help significantly. And that's obviously also for the folks online. I can see Sankara there as well at the minute, and Priya's online as well. So I think, yeah, fair point, Kerry. So let me just type that up because I'm also doing the minutes. It's just
Fidelis, you've got your hand up, but before you speak.
Yes, I was going to second the webinar suggestion. I think we've added before pre-COVID a long while ago, and Patrick was instrumental, Patrick Manu.
Yeah.
And if we are going to do it, and he keeps doing it anyway in Manchester with others, we should co-opt him to get involved, then so that we can have a good effect. Thank you.
Yeah, Patrick's on the.
I've just got a question on that.
Go on. Yeah.
I can't remember if this has been discussed for Alfredo. The Porto conference next year, Alfredo. Will it have an online option, or do you think purely face-to-face?
Or hybrid.
Was that discussed already?
We can have it online if it is, we choose the right rooms, it can be online, no problem.
Okay, I'm only asking, yeah, yeah, hybrid, Alfredo.
It will be a conference, so it will be. Can I make a strong urge that all videos are pre-recorded, like we did last time and the time before?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's pre-recorded videos, but you dial in for your live Q&A. I think
Yeah.
that works best, and it helps chairs because I felt very rude having to interrupt people presenting live because there's no other way of doing it. I can't put my hand up, I can't wave at you, I can't come stand next to you and breathe down your neck. So I need to, I think a pre-recorded 10 minutes, we know it's 10 minutes, and then dial in for the Q&A. Is everyone happy with that as a fundamental premise? It would seem so.
Check if anyone else is. Anyone else have any other?
Is there any other business?
Or comments or anything you want to say?
Yeah, here I am S. Sendamal Shankar from India.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Hi, hello to everyone. Good day to you, professors. Yeah, hi. Yeah, actually, I want to convey my greetings and thanks to the organizers because this is my first international conference. Actually, I know like Dr. Fidelis Emius before itself, and he introduced this conference to us. And actually, this is my first conference. The way of organizing and how the way you have done conducting the conference in the hybrid mode, both online and offline, it was very well fascinating, and it was very excellent. And what I can say, that commission W099 and W123, the commission, they are doing very excellent about the common good of the construction workers and the peoples. So it's really a great initiative because in some of the developing countries, they need more construction workers, the manpower to involve in the construction industries. But in how is the quality output of the industry? It is lagging in developing countries like in India or in some other developing countries also. But they are having some laws, rules, and regulations. But how to enhance or how to implement in the field in the construction sites? It's a great challenge here. And another request from my side is like this great professional bodies like CIB, if you're willing to establish a student chapter or like a branch in India, means we will be always welcoming, and it will be a great support for us to give some suggestions or guidelines for our Indian construction industry, as well as for the other developing countries too. So it's my request as well as my wish also. And otherwise, this conference was a great experience for me. I congratulate all the participants and the organizers. Thanks for the opportunity.
Send us an email. Send us an email.
Thank you ever so much. That's absolutely fantastic.
Press the button.
Is it gone green?
Yes.
Yes, talk.
Hi, this is Mike Beam. So I'm, part of the CIB, the program director, and also a W099 person. I really appreciate your comment. Thank you. And I'm glad you have enjoyed the interactions, and, really hope we can get you and your colleagues at a live conference someday. And, I hope, I don't think, there's a lot of members, probably your organization isn't a member, but, think also about maybe hosting a conference.
Yeah, sure. Definitely we welcome. Definitely we welcome. And I am a part of SRM Institute of Science and Technology from India. And we glad to be a student chapter. And I will convey this to my research supervisor, Dr. K.S. Anand sir, to think about the student chapter. And you also help us with the guidelines, how to implement the student chapter in our university. So we will definitely forward this to make this happen.
Yeah, and if I can help anything else further, just let me know. Please send me an email. We'll be happy to chat. Thank you for your comment.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
There's a question here. Next meeting, it's basically Portugal just
Yeah. Okay. So, all things considered, the date of the next meeting will be 1 year hence, unless the sky falls in and we need to do something else. But I think, yeah, there will be the newsletter. We will try and develop in the meantime the webinars to see exploring things. That will be within the next 12 months. But our next formal meeting will be 1 year hence in Porto. And unless there is anything else, I think I have written here that W099 and W123 would like to note sincere thanks to Alex for being our IT tech in the room for all our presentations. So thank you very much, sir, for your support during this and making the hybrid thing actually work properly. So thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Other than that, I will now formally close the meeting. Oh, no, I won't. Brian, you know the any other business thing?
Well, I just missed the date of reading.
You are a very naughty man. Sorry, that was Brian Kleiner trying to coerce Rita into hosting her webinar sooner than I think she would like. So thank you very much, colleagues. I am closing the meeting. Have a great evening, Alfredo, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. All best. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you very much.
Mike, can you walk close so that I can see you? You seem to be hiding.
Mike, don't go near there. That's the screen. Point. No, here. This thing. Stand around this side.
There he is.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you all very much.
Yes, bye.
Bye.
I put on too much weight.
Perfect. Bye now, everybody. Bye.
Bye.